It is said that we are never so vulnerable than when we trust. But paradoxically, if we cannot trust, neither can we find our heart's desire. Guybrush Threepwood, trusting in his voodoo spell, unleashes a pox on the Caribbean. He escapes from Flotsam Island to pursue his wife Elaine and to find a cure to the pox that infects them both. On the Jerkbait Islands, Guybrush finds Elaine together with his arch-enemy LeChuck. With deep reluctance, Guybrush trusts his wife with the former ghost pirate and seeks the cure on his own. Hunted by the lethal Morgan Le Fay, Threepwood must right his wrong by finding La Esponja Grande. For the pox is transforming the seas into a treacherous beast. And the beast is hungry.
I don't believe it.
Well, you better believe it, sister. Wait, believe what? What?
Guybrush, I'm taking you in.
I'm sorry, I'm inside a manatee at the moment. Look behind you!
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Well done, sir. Walked the bonny bounty huntress right into a trap.
You have to admire her stick-to-itiveness.
She's out cold.
Good. We need to get back on the track to finding La Esponja Grande. I'm gonna go find a way out of here. Preferably through the front door. Not the, service entrance.
I'll keep an eye on Miss Le Fay. If she stirs, I'll give her the old scurvy buttons.
I don't want to know what that is. An encampment. Talk about roughing it. Better go check it out. Hello? Excuse me?
What is this? An adventurer from the outside? Who are you?
I'm Guybrush
Coronado
Threepwood,
de Cava,
mighty pirate.
mighty explorer.
Cava, I've been looking for you. What are you doing in here?
I'm on my way to a very important artifact to be acquired for a very important woman.
I hate to be the one to break this to you, but you're stuck inside of an overgrown sea mammal. You're not on your way anywhere.
Heavens no, I'm not stuck. Quite the contrary. It's all part of the plan of the ocean gods. The mouth of the manatee leads me to the artifact. The seahorses led the mouth to me. Just as I freed myself from the brig of Fat Island by bribing the guard for his bootlace, stringing him up with a pulley fashioned from a stale scone, and then growing at my toenails over the course of a year in order to carefully carve them into a lock-picking kit, I, Coronado de Cava, will walk out of this beast when the time is right.
And when is that? I'm on a bit of a timetable.
When we arrive at the sacred manatee mating grounds.
Oh boy. How long have you been in here?
Years! This journey has been even longer than expected, but the exploration is fraught with unforeseen hurdles yearning to be overcome.
You made a lock-picking kit out of toenails?
That's right!
You didn't try the tempt the guard dog with a bone trick?
Bah, that's for amateurs.
So I have this locket I'm supposed to give to you.
Oh my! I haven't seen this locket for some years. She's just as I remember. Where did you... What is this?
Threepwood, it is I.
Yikes.
Well done. You have found Coronado de Cava and are one step closer to La Sponja Grande. De Cava and his crew will prove indispensable on your quest. And while the pox spreads with every passing moment, you must tread lightly, Guybrush. Years of searching for the sponge have made De Cava unstable. He was always a bit of a sensitive soul, so please, I implore you, do not mention me. Do not mention La Sponja. And whatever you do not tell him where you acquired his locket.
Where did you get this? Who sent you? What are you doing here?
I'm here to retrieve La Esponja Grande. The voodoo lady sent me.
She what? Meteor! That two-timing soothsaying strumpet!
Huh?
La Esponja is to be mine to give to her as a gargantuan absorbent symbol of my fiery passion! I'm gone for 2 seconds and she's making time with a prepubescent picaron!
No, it's not like that. Eesh, no way. We're hardly even friends.
Right, a friend who she gives an invaluable sentimental locket! I bet she never sends you on any quests either!
No. I mean, from time to time she tells me what to do and where to go with little or no context,
That
but...
sounds like a quest. She used to give me quests. I thought I was special. Has she ever made you a voodoo doll?
No.
I don't believe you! Have you held her in your arms?
What? No! I'm married! Look!
I don't see a ring, Senor Guybrush.
I left it with my other hand.
I'll kill you.
I'm not after the voodoo lady's heart or La Esponja Grande.
Then why are you here?
Vacation.
Is that so?
Yes. Honeymooning, in fact.
With your invisible wife?
My very real wife. Let me just go get her.
I shall await her alleged arrival with tantalizing disbelief.
Hey, De Cava.
Get away from...
Winslow, I need to revive Morgan and present her to De Cava as my fake wife.
My, that reminds me of the time when...
Now, Winslow, De Cava's crazy.
Very well. I'm well trained in naval first aid. Do as I say. First things first. Take her pulse and see if she's alive.
What? She might be dead?
You never know about these things. Her wrist, Captain. Very good.
Her pulse is strong. What's this? A tattoo of the name Gus.
This is for Chuckbender.
Excellent. She's alive and kicking. Which reminds me, next, remove any and all weapons from the victim. We don't want her thrashing about and lopping off any more appendages.
Good thinking. All right, I've got her sword. It's engraved with a name, Dante Dragotta.
Ooh, he sounds tough.
Gomez, not on the carpet.
Now, elevate her feet to help with circulation.
Got it. Elevating her feet. What's this? An assassin's ledger.
Fascinating.
Who knew bounty hunters were so meticulous?
She still hasn't come round. A most curious case. If only we had smelling salts, that would do the trick. She's still hasn't come round.
Ew, a slimy grub. Hey, Dakava.
Get away from me, or I'll kill you! You don't sail another man's ship simply because he left it in the harbor!
A squishy grub. Ooh, one at a time.
She's still...
That's no way to wake her. The narwhal's quarters. They're resplendent. I don't think these will help Dakava if I puncture them. The narwhals can't... Ooh, I almost forgot. My pyrite parrot. Huh. It must have been jostled out of my pockets and washed away. I think the narwhal's crow's nest will let me access the manatee's sinus area. Eustachian Passage. Manatee earwax. Rotten and pungent. I've seen my fair share of flesh wounds, and this one is world... A cochlea or inner ear. I may have gone to public school, but I think those are supposed to come in pairs. I don't want to cut that. Besides causing needless damage and pain, removing this cochlea to replace the other wouldn't make much sense. Nah. Nope.
She's...
Guybrush?
Oopsie daisy, mon adversaire. That'll teach you to take a legendary pirate at sword point. You lost your weapon privileges.
Ugh. Where are we?
We've been swallowed by a giant manatee, and you're about to pose as my fake wife in order to placate a puzzle-obsessed whack job.
Oh no, I'm not. As much as I'd love to play house with the Guybrush Threepwood, I'm already late getting you back to Flotsam Island.
Listen here, you poor excuse for a pissy privateer. Any more nipper are you, and the captain will be sending your carcass on a tour of the small intestine.
I guess we call this the good pirate, bad pirate routine.
Oh, my. I'm terribly sorry. I think I ought to rest for a spell. Must have taken a mouthful of something vile on the way down.
See? That's the pox. It turns people into whatever that was, and it's in the process of ravaging the entire Caribbean. Even Elaine.
Okay, fine. But you have to do something for me.
What is it?
Will you sign this for me?
2 seconds ago, you were ready to slit my throat, and now you want to hang me in your locker?
I was just doing my job.
Give it here. Now, let's go deal with Cookie Coronado de Cava. You're my make-believe wife, so just act like it.
Well, 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 the panty-waisted pirate wannabe has found himself a lady.
Coronado, I'd like to introduce you to my wife,
Morgan.
Right. So, as you can see, there is no way I could be romantically affiliated with the Voodoo Lady. I am a one-woman man.
Sure you are, lover boy. If you two are really just wed, you don't mind answering a few questions?
Do your worst.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but easy, girl.
Together now. How did you meet?
Pilates.
We met through work.
Where did you go on your first date?
We
We
went
went
sailing.
sailing.
All right, that's enough.
You believe us?
Almost.
Almost. What do I have to do to prove to you that I'm not your rival for the Voodoo Lady?
Just take a step forward.
Okay.
Both of you. Now, let's get down to brass barnacles. I have asked you both a series of personal questions, the answers of which are recorded here on these cards. Mr. Threepwood, you'll be happy to know that your wife has passed with flying colors. She seems to know every single detail of your life.
You don't say.
Now is your turn. Let's see what you know about Mrs. Threepwood. Answer 3 in a row correctly, and I'll believe you are honeymooners. Incorrectly, and it's the bowels of the beast for both of you. Question number 1. She is quite a skilled fighter. Who trained her in the ways of combat?
It's engraved with a name. Dante Dragotta.
Ooh, he sounds tough.
Dante Dragotta.
Correct. Question number 2. What?
Could you repeat that?
What was the name of her favorite pet?
Gomez. Not on the carpet.
Gomez.
Correct.
No way.
Impressive, huh?
The third and final question. She recently purchased a ship. This vessel is known as the Knave of Blank.
What's this? An assassin's ledger.
Fascinating.
Who knew bounty hunters were so meticulous? Toro.
Correct.
Nice.
Well, perhaps I was mistaken. You two might be married after all.
Oh, it's all right. If a guy turns up in a manatee with your girlfriend's locket, a man has a right to ask a question or two. Now, about this sponge.
The one you're not after?
We're just sightseeing, right, honey?
That's right, Pookie Pie.
Well, perhaps you would like to join my crew. It could make a romantic tale for your honeymoon scrapbook.
I'd love to join your crew. I'm gaga for scrapbooking. We'll find La Esponja Grande in no time.
Magnifico!
What's next? A stool sample?
No, you look like a man of firm constitution. Now, any questions?
These sacred manatee mating grounds. It's the home of La Esponja Grande?
That's correct.
Ah. You have a crew? Are you counting your mood swings as members?
I set out from Flotsam Island all those years ago with 4 other brave souls, all of whom were to play a special role in finding La Esponja. I may have been a stern leader, but I loved them like sons.
Were you forced to eat them?
I would have rather starved than see harm befall them. Alas, they perished in the belly of the beast long ago. A torturous demise.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sometimes I can still hear their screams.
When are we due to arrive? Wifey is getting antsy.
Ah, well, I'm afraid the manatee has been lost for some time now.
Lost? He's not a eunuch, is he?
His plumbing is still in working order, but his internal compass is another matter.
How can you tell?
Around and around he go. I have deduced that the problem lies within the manatee's inner ear, so I'm crafting him a new one.
That explains the spinning. How are you building an inner ear?
I am weaving the husks of manatee throat grubs into a new cochlea for the beast. It's the only way. If you could bring me some, we'll save precious time.
I'm on it. It looks like all we have to do is skin a few manatee throat grubs for the old man, and then build a giant synthetic cochlea to replace the missing one up in the ear canal, and we'll be on our way.
Or you could give me my sword and I can just cut our way out of here.
I'm not letting you slice this poor fella open. Manatees are gentle giants.
Guybrush?
Back off, Susie Slicer. Easy. Whoa!
Rats. Smooth.
Thanks for the push. I'd never seen an epiglottis before.
Drink!
I think we just found Dakava's crew.
What say you, digested scum?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh,
Welcome to paradise.
Paradise?
The land of ever-flowing relaxation, soothing tunes, and all the ichor you can stomach.
Ew.
What brings you down here?
Just looking for your run-of-the-mill manatee cochlea.
Hey, we've got
That's enough. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. And if I did, that would be a secret of the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood?
The democratically united Brotherhood of the Manatee Interior. United we stand, together we party.
And you guys just live down here?
You mean live it up? It's our own little slice of heaven.
Feel free to stay, but please, don't rock the manatee.
Here's the plan. You charge Johnny Cirrhosis over there, and I'll jump the leader and eviscerate his vitals. The square playing the bongos shouldn't be a problem for either of us. Whoever gets to him first scores the kill. Personally, I'll be going for his throat. He looks like a biter.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You're right. I'll keep my distance and shoot for an artery.
No, I mean, we can't just slaughter these guys. The voodoo lady possessed Dakava and said they were necessary to getting the sponge.
Well, what's your plan?
I'm going to go talk to them.
Talk? Mighty pirates don't talk. We don't have time to talk.
Mo, sweetheart, this is what I do. So just sit back, relax, and let Guybrush Threepwood take care of things. Go relace your corset or shine your pauldron or what have you.
Fine. But don't come running to me when negotiations fail.
Ooh, one at a time. The last thing I need is them. I don't think these will help. I don't think these will help Dakaba if I puncture them. Piles of fabulous. Ahoy there! I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name.
It's Bug-Eye.
Well, I've been doing some thinking, and I'd like to join the Democratically United Brotherhood of the Manatee Interior.
Is that so?
Yep, although I'm applying to the Oligarchical Society of the Alpaca Farm as a safety.
This wouldn't have anything to do with a missing cochlea, would it?
No way! I just like the cut of your jib.
Well, admittance is as simple as a unanimous vote, even for a pirate such as yourself. We're a democracy, after all. Noogie, Moose, Santino, and myself founded our collective after growing tired of slaving away on the crews of tyrannical adventurers, always after some meaningless trinket.
Like, say, a giant sponge?
Precisely! We're never going back to our old lives. The Brotherhood was formed to make sure this adventure is a never-ending one.
Down with the man, and all of that.
Would you like me to call a vote?
Yes, I'm a shoo-in.
Gentlemen, Goldilocks here would like to join the Brotherhood.
Sweet. Voting time. My favorite.
Brother Noogie, concerning the initiation of one Guybrush Threepwood, what say you?
No. No, I don't think so. What's he got to offer?
Brother Moose, what say you?
I gotta vote with my boy Santino on this one.
An obvious no.
What? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Nah, bro.
And of course, my vote, which is no.
Shocker.
Not a single yay.
This is worse than when I ran for class president.
Let me out of here and I'll spare your
It's locked. It's locked. There. All unlocked. My hook is pretty handy. But sometimes I miss the old opposable digits.
Sacrebleu. The molecules are synthesizing. The formula is actualizing. Science! I have science here! La mort est tuée.
Woe upon thee, foolish mortal! You have unleashed certain doom upon all your feeble fleshy kind, for the wrath of Murray shall be very funny.
Hi, Murray.
Threepwood! I suppose I should have expected this.
Long time no see. How'd you get trapped in here?
I'm not trapped.
Okay, what were you doing before you chose to hang out in a treasure chest inside of a manatee?
Well, my legions of undead marines had brought an armada of Spanish clippers to their knees when a mighty tempest tossed our ship.
I don't remember hearing about any battle with the Spanish Armada.
Ha! As if we would allow a soul to live to tell the tale.
Would you like some help?
Help! Ha! Help! I will end you!
Okay then. Well, it was nice talking to you, Murray.
Maybe a little.
Come again?
Perhaps a lift.
Oh, you'd like help. Let's go, pal.
Ah! It's dark in here. And why does it smell like rotten marmalade?
Nothing more in there. Moist, but expedient. Come here often? Strong, silent type, huh? Catch you later. Hi there, Guybrush Threepwood.
Hola, I'm Moose, and that's my boy Santino.
He has a name?
Yeah, it's more of a moniker, like the Santino. He's the coolest cat I've ever known.
Ah, right on, dude.
Can I interest you in a beverage?
That's quite the straw.
Sometimes you just want a quick rush of Icor. This baby does the trick.
I really shouldn't.
All right, man, but that means you gotta double up next time.
Fair enough. Is there a substantial amount of lead in your drink?
Nah, man, this is pure, unfiltered Icor. I got hooked on this stuff when we landed down here.
You're drinking it.
You better believe it, and it flows in abundance, my friend.
Tell me about Icor. What sort of varietals does it come in? Any favorite vintages?
3 years ago was a solid year. Potent stuff. This here's the orange. I dig it. It's got a bubbly effervescence with a tangy palate. Watch out for the yellow stuff you see in the pools, though, man. The stuff will peel the shell off a Nautilus.
What can you tell me about the missing cochlea?
Nothing. That's a secret for brothers only.
I've been thinking I'd like to join your group.
You'd have to talk to Bug-Eye about that. He's our unofficial head honcho, hombre.
Think I could
Man, that's a tough one. I try not to get too wrapped up in the politics of the group. I just vote for whoever Santino goes in for.
What's with the funnel?
That's Jumbo Jimbo, my custom drinking apparatus. I break it out for special occasions.
Like lunchtime?
It's important to celebrate life, brah.
I propose a toast. It's a special occasion.
Righteous. What's the occasion?
Diwali!
Woohoo!
Well, it's not a clip-on. Hi.
What's up?
I propose
Righteous.
Pirate History Month.
Woohoo!
You keep some strain.
Come back!
Hi.
What's up?
Tell me about Icor.
3 years ago was a solid year. Potent. Right.
Fruit Tuesday.
Woohoo!
Threepwood, you have made the greatest mistake of your life. In my new corporeal form, I will scorch these lands to the ground, only to rebuild them in my nefarious almighty image.
Oh, you like your new setup?
I do. Santino, bro, you want to spot me on this one?
Men pledge their allegiance to me. Our brotherhood is a bond forged in the flames of hell.
Gnarly.
Perhaps I will revel in this union of brothers for a moment.
Before burning the world.
Terror will come to this manatee, rest assured.
Hey there,
Aloha.
How's the body treating you?
Remarkably well. It's only a matter of time before I gain control of my limbs.
Oh boy, then we're in for it.
I shall rewrite your definition of misery.
You're literate now?
Not completely. Take care, Winback.
Are those manatee flesh bongos?
Yeah, they produce a great sound. I think it's 'cause they're full of bile.
Maybe it doesn't work that way with people. Ahoy there!
Oh, hi.
You're in charge of the tunes, huh?
I just like to play. It relaxes me.
I can relate. I went through a mouth harp phase. I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate.
I'm Noogie. What's your pretty girlfriend's name?
Oh, she's not really my girlfriend. Her name's Morgan Le Flay. Why, you think she's hot stuff?
Well, yeah.
She'd chew you up like a pinky finger in a piranha pool.
Awesome.
I've been thinking I'd like to join your group.
Oh, well, Bug-Eye generally handles administrative matters. You should talk to him.
I could really use your vote into the Brotherhood.
Oh, I don't know about that. We got a pretty stable force in here, and I don't think Bug-Eye likes you much anyway.
Well, let me do you a favor.
Like?
I'll get you a date with the beautiful, dangerous Morgan Le Flay.
Really? You think she'd say yes?
To a stud such as yourself? Of course.
Wow. Okay. If the date goes well, you have my vote.
Deal.
In the meantime, here is a new member's manual. It might be worth looking over if you're serious. It's full of our initiation rituals, neophyte duties, etc.
Hazing rituals?
By law, we're no longer allowed to use the word hazing. We call them enhanced initiation techniques.
Sounds delightful. One date coming up. It reads, the Democratically United Brotherhood of the Manatee. Hey, Mo.
What is it?
I need to infiltrate the Brotherhood and find the missing cochlea.
Sounds like a personal problem.
You know, you can't just go through life cutting throats and dehanditating people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
Watch me.
It's not really the best time for this, but how about that guy over there?
Four Eyes? Kinda portly if you ask me.
Come on, you should go on a little manatee date with him.
No way. I've feigned enough romance for one day.
Well, what about... Did I say date? No, I meant reconnaissance mission. He's dangerous. My guess? Assassin.
Really?
Yeah, really. Here's the play.
Shoot!
It's a 3-phase operation. First, you should... interrogate him. Ask him about himself. Let's figure out where this lowlife is from.
Okay.
Second, you must... throw a rock at his head and see if he snatches it out of the air. That way, we have an assessment of his reflexes.
Okay.
Lastly, take his hand, test his grip, in case it comes to fisticuffs.
Okay. Okay, so... interrogate. Reflex test. And then test his grip.
You got it. Good luck. I've got your 6.
Thanks.
Hey, Noogie. How was the date?
Terrible.
Oh, what happened?
It was going all right for a minute. First, she wanted to know all about me. She was interested right off the bat.
That doesn't sound so bad.
But then, she threw a rock at my head. It really hurt.
Hey, some guys are into that.
I don't want any rough stuff. She could have killed me.
Wow. I'm sorry things didn't go as well as you'd hoped.
It's not your fault. I just don't think she's for me.
Well, do you think I could have your vote anyway?
I don't think so.
Let me go talk to her.
Okay.
Hey, Mo.
What is it?
I need you to go...
Who this time?
well, Noogie again.
Really?
That's this... it's a 3... interrogate him.
Okay.
Second, you must... take his hand, test his grip, in case it comes to fisticuffs.
Okay.
Lastly, inspect his gums for pathogens. In case he is a biter, we need to know what sort of infections we'll be dealing with.
Okay. Okay, so... test his... and then inspect it.
You got it. Good luck. I've got your 6.
Thanks.
Hey, Noogie. How was the date?
Terrible.
Uh-oh. What happened?
It was going all right for a minute. First, she wanted to know.
Well, then what?
Then, she made the first move and took my hand.
That doesn't sound so bad.
But then, she shoved her hands into my mouth.
But... Hey, Mo.
What is it?
I need you... it's a 3... interrogate him.
Okay.
Second, take his hand.
Okay.
Lastly, check for weapon.
Okay. Okay, so check for weapon.
You got it.
Thanks.
Hey, Noogie. How was the date?
At first, I was really nervous,
Yeah?
but it turned out great. She was so into me. First, she wanted to know all about me. She was interested right off the bat.
Nice.
Then she made the first move and took my hand. I knew I was doing well. Second base.
Mr. Big Stuff over here.
And then before I knew it, she's got her hands all over me. It was awesome. The perfect date.
Glad to hear it went well. So I've got your vote.
Certainly. Oh man, I'm putting all of this in my journal. I even found a strand of her hair on my vest. That's going in too, as a keepsake.
Getting creepy.
Sorry.
Ahoy there.
Now what?
Give me the skinny about the
Perhaps.
Well, I did, but I figured you told.
I don't care.
I've killed him.
Sure you have, Cream Puff.
What do you say about giving a nod to old Guybrush Threepwood come voting time?
Sure.
Come on, what? Wait, really?
You can have my vote as soon as you beat me in a pirate face-off. We don't want any weenies in the Brotherhood.
Is this gonna hurt?
Just your pride, Johnny Cakes. I give you my best pirate face, and then all you have to do is top it. Originality counts.
I'm a pirate with a face. This should be a cinch.
Ready? I'll go first.
All right, we're ready for some pirate face-off action. It's Bug-Eye, the Viceroy of Visages, versus
Guybrush Threepwood.
Guybrush Threepwood. Let him have it, Bug-Eye. It's the stinky, lazy-eyed meanie.
All right, my turn.
Do your worst, Guybrush. Show this egalitarian bozo who's boss.
Now check this out.
It's the stinky, lazy-eyed meanie.
That's it?
Yep.
Did you miss me saying originality counts? Or are you such a pathetic pirate that you had to copy my face to a T?
Really, Guybrush?
Come on. I added my own flavor.
He might as well have been looking in a mirror. This is humiliating. Mighty pirate indeed.
Ouch.
Bummer, dude.
It just slipped out of her hand. Watch, she'll realize her mistake and hurry back for it. Wait for it. Wait. So, pirate faces.
Better go cop a few new mugs if you want to upgrade from miserable embarrassment to just simple failure.
An original signed Guybrush Threepwood. More.
Ah, Deckhand, could you do me a favor?
Shoot.
I'm parched. I would love a drink, but none of that yellow muck. Dangerous stuff that is. Makes my eyes go wilder than a frothing Pomeranian.
Okay, one drink coming up.
Hey you, rabble-rouser.
Yes?
Are you enjoying your time with the Democratically United Brotherhood of the Manatee Interior?
How can I not? Can't wait to be voted in.
We'll see about that. In the meantime, I don't want any trouble. We got it nice and easy down here.
Okie dokie.
Just some friendly advice. Don't be poking around up top, and stay away from Dakava. The last thing this manatee needs is his sense of direction restored. We don't need to be getting to any sacred mating grounds.
Seriously. I've never seen manatees mate before, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to be inside one when I do.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, bruh. Glad to see you're indulging.
A mug full of the Biley Bubbly. Ah, refreshing.
Yogi, my man. I like the beat. How about something a little more up-tempo?
Like this?
I dig it. The level's too low to take a sample. The plaque reads, Fish Eyes Alabaster, anarcho-socialist pirate philosopher. One day I hope my portrait has such a fancy plaque. Soiled and forgotten in the bowels of a manatee. Well, that's not gonna work. Yogi, my man. I like the beat. How about something a little more up-tempo?
Like this?
I dig it. Yogi, my man.
Arr! Yar!
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll add that to my pirate face. Hi.
Arr!
Arr!
Nice technique. One cup of horribly corrosive, ultra-toxic man. I can't reach it. I'm gonna have to adjust to life with a hook hand. I don't want to cut that. Manatee bile, the ocean's natural solvent. Whoa, check out those peepers. They should do nicely. A monkey face. I like it. Check out this new member's manual.
Full of joyous events to celebrate our brotherhood, no doubt. Exotic pleasures that you'll never know.
Noogie's playing has raised the level. Much better. Well, better anyway. Huh, look at that. Somebody should really return this to their local library. Modern torture made easy. With a little elbow grease, I can swap the covers on these two books. Murray, Santino, do you want to have a look at this new member's manual to the Brotherhood? You might find it pretty interesting.
Reading is for the feeble.
Oh, I just thought these initiation rituals might strike your fancy. The first step in drawing and quartering your victim is...
Wait, what was that?
Just going over some of what I can look forward to when I'm voted into the Brotherhood.
Let me see that. Why, that's positively malevolent. Look at all the blood.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Wait a minute. Let me see the cover. Ha! It's the genuine article.
Too bad I can't have your vote.
Aha! You should be careful what you ask for. Consider my vote yours, and your demise imminent. Sir, if I may have a word.
How you doing, Winslow? Can I get you anything? Mogobile?
I'm well, thank you. I wanted to inform you, as I was crawling back under the covers, I came across something unsettling.
Not another outbreak of Polynesian bed mites.
No. And I've seen my fair share of disturbing things between the sheets, sir.
Ahem. What was it, Winslow?
I believe a threat, sir. I left it over on the gangplank. It came with a note. Something about this being what happens to those who try to interfere with the Brotherhood.
Seabiscuit! I love these things! And a seahorse head! A seahorse head. Giant manatees snack on these things like crackers. Man, if somebody made little fish-shaped snack crackers for people, they'd be sitting on a gold mine.
Where has my monocular run off to? Slippery devil.
These lenses are about the same size. Dakava's monocular now has a red lens. He'll see the manatee through rose-tinted glasses, or uncover loads of secret messages. Your monocular, boss.
Thank heavens! I was going mad without them. No harm done to them. How resourceful of you, crew. A mug full of the Biley Bubbly. And thank you for avoiding the corrosive yellow icon.
Check out those eyes.
Even the orange has gone foul. Never again. It's Eustachian runoff or seawater for me from here on.
Dakava's homebrewed.
Splendid! You found a manatee throat?
Let's build a coquelet.
That's the plan. Only
Come again?
each grub yields such a small amount of usable husk by This is no laughing matter.
We don't have time to collect that many grubs.
On the contrary, time is all we do have.
This is bananas. New plan. Find the actual cochlea. Ahoy there!
No.
Let's go another round.
Haven't had enough yet, dollface? Ready? I'll go first.
He's got the Arr! Stinky, lazy-eyed meanie.
All right, my turn.
Here comes the Arr! Bugged out, tweaking Gomer. Gnarly. Cheap Whistle has made it through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
Here comes the Arr! Hooded, cross-eyed geezer.
I've seen a tougher face on a newborn. Check this one out.
He's got the Arr! Bugged out, fish-eyed monkey. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good.
You've got nothing, boy.
I'm just warming up. Ahoy there!
Now what?
I'm ready to beat you in a pirate face-off.
Well, I hope you've done some... Ready? I'll go first.
It's the Arr! Bugged out, fish-eyed Gomer.
Oh, is this a pilgrim face competition? Let me show you.
It's the Arr! Hooded, cross-eyed geezer. We're through the first.
Nice.
He's got the Arr! Stinky, tweaking meanie.
Did you do a face yet? I just see general disfigurement. Now check this out.
He's got the Arr! Stinky, lazy-eyed Gomer. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as none at all. Bug-Eye wins.
You've got nothing, boy.
I'm just warming up. It's a picture Morgan clipped of me. I think this was taken right after I saved the village of Kaflu from a lava slide whilst constructing the Cutlass. Or it's from a wanted poster. It's hard to say. Ahoy there!
Now what?
I'm ready to beat you in a pirate face-off.
Well, I hope you've done some face research since our last one. Ready? I'll go first.
Here comes the bugged out, lazy-eyed meanie.
Here comes trouble.
Here comes the bugged out, tweaking Gomer. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as none at all. Bug-Eye wins.
You've got nothing, boy.
I'm just warming up. Ahoy there!
Now what?
You're a real killjoy.
I don't take kindly to ruffians messing with the dynamics of the Brotherhood.
Aren't you a bit like the tyrants you claim to hate?
I don't appreciate your inference, Sweet Roll. We do everything democratically down here. Noogie, Moose, and Santino carry equal weight in every decision.
How about your decision to be a jerk?
No, that one's all me.
Later, Buggy Bilgewater.
So long, Threepwuss.
Hey, Mo.
What is it?
Arr!
Arr!
Ooh, that's a new one. Ahoy there! Let's go another round.
Haven't had enough yet, Dollface? Ready? I'll go first.
He's got the bugged out, cross-eyed Gomer.
I've seen a tougher face on a newborn. Check this one out.
He's got the
Arr!
nasty, fish-eyed monkey! Gnarly! Cheap Whistle has made it through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
It's the stinky, tweaking geezer.
Oh, is this a pilgrim face competition? I could have sworn you said pirate. Let me show you.
It's the bugged out, tweaking Gomer.
Aye.
By way of unoriginal opposition, Bug-Eye is the victor.
Yet another derivative display. You lose.
Just you wait. Ahoy there.
Now what?
I'm ready to beat you in a pirate face-off.
Well, I hope you've done some face research since our last one. Ready? I'll go first.
Here comes the hooded, lazy-eyed meanie.
All right, my turn.
Here comes the stinky, fish-eyed Gomer.
Aye.
We're through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
He's got the nasty, cross-eyed monkey.
Did you do a face yet? I just see general disfigurement. Now check this.
He's got the bugged out, fish-eyed geezer. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as...
You've got...
I'm just... Ahoy there.
Now what?
Let's go another round.
Haven't had enough yet, Dollface? Ready? I'll go first.
Here comes the stinky, cross-eyed Gomer.
Here comes trouble.
It's the hooded, fish-eyed meanie. Gnarly. Cheap Whistle has made it through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
It's the bugged out, lazy-eyed geezer.
All right, my turn.
Here comes the nasty, tweaking meanie. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as none at all. Bug-Eye wins.
You've got nothing.
I'm just warming up. Ahoy there!
Now what?
I'm
Ready? I'll go first.
Here comes the Arr! Stinky, fish-eyed geezer.
Did you do a face yet? I just see general disfigurement. Now check this out!
He's got the Arr! Nasty, cross-eyed meanie. We're through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
He's got the Arr! Bugged out, tweaking Gomer.
I've seen a tougher face on a newborn. Check this one out!
Here comes the Arr! Hooded, fish-eyed monkey. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as none at all. Bug-Eye wins.
You've got nothing, boy.
I'm just warm. Ahoy there!
Now what?
Let's go another round.
Haven't had enough yet. Ready? I'll go first.
It's the Arr! Hooded, cross-eyed monkey.
Here comes trouble.
It's the Arr! Stinky, fish-eyed meanie. Gnarly. Cheap Whistle has made it through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
He's got the Arr! Nasty, tweaking geezer.
Oh, is this a pilgrim face competition? I could have sworn you said pirate. Let me show you.
Here comes the Arr! Bugged out, lazy-eyed monkey. Some fresh moves, but not enough. Partial originality is as good as none at all. Bug-Eye wins.
You've got nothing, boy.
I'm just warming up. Ahoy there!
Now what?
I'm ready to beat you in a pirate face-off.
Well, I hope you've done some face research since our last one. Ready? I'll go first.
It's the nasty, lazy-eyed meanie.
Did you do a face yet? I just see general disfigurement. Now check this out.
He's got the stinky, fish-eyed monkey. We're through the first round.
Nice. But can you top this?
Here comes the hooded, tweaking Gomer.
I've seen a tougher face on a newborn. Check this one out.
It's the bugged out, cross-eyed geezer.
Well, I'll be. I've given you all the faces that I know.
Unbelievable. Threepwood has beaten the High Prince of the Puss.
Bravo.
Now who's the ombudsman of unoriginality?
Unoriginal? Me? If you say so, Short Stack.
Beat you. Now I demand your vote.
Is that so? Oh, I almost forgot.
Forgot what?
I've had this old thing laying around.
Blowholes to Betsy. Could it be? Holy buckets! It's the Bug Eye! Rarely seen, bros and bras. If the challenger can't top that, this competition is over.
Are you suggesting that I pull out both of my eyes?
Whoa, extreme.
He clearly broke the rules.
Which rule is that?
Well, there ought to be a rule concerning the use of the freaky eye. I put up a fight. Can't you just give me your vote?
I stated my terms.
Oh. Your vote, or you're a dead man.
Resorting to petty threats? Good luck.
I don't have time for this. I'm sick of your runaround. I'm sick of your silly faces, and I'm sick of...
Whoa, maybe you're just sick, brah.
You yelly-bellied deserter! I've crushed the souls of men 10 times as tough as you and forgotten them by lunch. You'll do as I say, or rue the name Threepwood for the rest of your very short life!
Whoa.
It's the ferocious, green demon face? Threepwood wins with the nastiest mug this side of the hypothalamus.
Huh?
Fine, he wins. My vote is yours, but I've got my eye on you.
Nice. Ahoy there.
Now what?
All right, call a vote. I feel good about my chances.
Very well. Gentlemen, Goldilocks here would like to join the Brotherhood.
Sweet. voting time. My favorite.
Brother Noogie, concerning the initiation of one Guybrush Threepwood, what say you?
Yes. I vote yes. I think he'll help raise morale.
Doubtful. Brother Moose, what say you?
I gotta go with my boy Santino on this one.
Yes! Roll out the red carpet and let it run with the blood of Threepwood's torment. Ready to rack. Oil up the thumb screws.
Man, you're something else, Santino. I say, yeah, my boy's got an eye for character.
Fine. I vote no.
Hey, you said if I beat you in a pirate face-off, I'd be in like Flynn.
Yeah, man, I think you gotta keep your end of the bargain on this one.
Oh, all right. But only to maintain the integrity of the Brotherhood.
Bureaucratic ethics win again.
You have a unanimous vote and a formal invitation to join the democratically united Brotherhood of the Manatee Interior.
I accept. Do I get a sash? Or a button?
No.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome.
Burn in flame.
You guys should really have buttons. I think they'd be a hit.
What you do receive is the honor of one of the Brotherhood's greatest responsibilities.
As the most junior member, you'll be the caretaker of the Cochlea. It's the key to our permanent vacay.
You're just giving it to me?
Guard it with your life, brother.
Morgan, I got the cochlea.
Then go replace it in the ear canal so we can get out of here. I'd like to get you back to Flotsam while I'm young enough to spend the bounty.
One cochlea procured.
Uh-huh.
We'll be out of here in 2 shakes of a pirate's booty. Dakava's plans to rebuild the manatee's inner ear, or cochlea. They're remarkably comprehensive, considering they were drafted by a whack job. Hey, I've got the cochlea!
Ha! I'll believe it when I see it. Trying to get out of grub scrounging duty, no doubt.
Well, I'll just go put this back where it belongs, and then it's mating grounds or bust. I need to replace this in the manatee's eustachian passage. Here you go, pal. Whoa! I think we're back on course. I think I fixed your manatee problem.
How about that? I felt the beast rumble and checked my compass. It says that we're right on course.
Ancient manatee mating grounds? Here we come!
How did you fix his sense of direction?
Funny you should ask. I ran into your old crew.
My
and-
crew?
Yeah, and they had the cochlea the entire time. I just pretended I wanted to join their stupid club and...
My crew?
Yeah, your crew. Alive this entire time. Who would have thunk?
You betrayed us!
I would never!
We trusted you!
Unbelievable, man.
Look, guys, I can explain.
There's no need.
Bug-Eye, the unlikely voice of reason.
Breaking the trust of the Brotherhood has only one consequence.
A double fine?
What?
You know, like some doubloons, but double the regular amount.
But how do we determine the standard fine?
I'm not sure. I suppose that's up to your discretion.
Wouldn't it be less confusing to just settle on a larger upfront?
That's enough! The only punishment is death. Kill him.
Heyo! Morgan, Dahl, it's killing time!
Excuse me?
A trio of bloodthirsty mutineers are gonna pop out of that hole in 3, 2,
What did I say earlier about running to me for help?
1.
I'm gonna watch Moose crush him!
I could use a hand!
Ha! He wants help from a girl!
Are you still whining over that little scratch I gave you back on the narwhal?
Get him!
I'm gonna crush him!
Faster, minions! Kill! Kill!
Turn and fuck!
The mutineers were calling you a pansy earlier.
No, we weren't! He said you were a wilting flower!
That sounds like Guybrush Threepwood.
Smite him! Smite him!
I was going to sew you a sash!
It's go time, Morgan!
I can't just be told when to fight. I'm not some junkyard dog.
Yeah, man! Treat a woman with respect, would you?
Make him suffer!
Look, I'm sorry about before.
Sorry about what?
About assuming you were incapable of handling the situation. You are capable. Now, please show these mutineers your capabilities.
And?
And you're a mighty bounty hunter.
That's sweet. But aren't you forgetting something?
Kill the betrayer!
What? Oh! Weapon privileges restored.
Thank you.
Mutineers of the crew of Coronado de Cava, I would like to establish, for the record, that the 4 of you were just manhandled by a woman. So in essence, you've been woman-handled, which I imagine was not near as pleasant as it sounds.
Go dangle your yardum, you traitor!
Nice work, Morgan.
Thanks, Captain. I mean, thanks, Honey Bunch.
Now, Coronado, how do we get out of here?
I'm 14 steps ahead of you, mijo. Here, this should do the trick. That's a unique formula of Panamanian prune juice, East Indian espresso beans, and booty breakfast bran flakes. A few drops administered to the creature's digestive system should be our one-way ticket topside.
Got it. A few drops in the biggest bile pool I can find. Done and done.
Quick, everyone on board! Hold on to your pantalones!
Yuck!
That could have been worse.
Really?
Just a quick trip up the blowhole.
Manatees don't have blowholes.
What? Then... Oh, yeah. Yuck.
Hey, about down there.
I was a bit of a monkey's ass.
No, well, yes, but I was going to say that your style's not so bad.
Nothing if not stylish.
Anyway, I work alone. But you and I made a decent team.
Hey, lovebirds, quit flapping your gums and get up here. My treasure sits mere fathoms away. And my ship, the Howler Monkey. I thought I'd never see you again. I've dropped anchor down to the mating grounds and the cavern of La Esponja Grande. Now, if only my lawyer crew was worth a piece of eight. Star crew member even had the temerity to expire.
What's the problem?
Santino was not only a world-class swordsman, bullfighter, and pastry chef. He was also, most importantly, an unrivaled skin diver. There is no other man who can survive the swim down to the mating grounds.
Guybrush can hold his breath for 10 minutes.
Is that so?
Yep. And I have freakish toe strength.
Well then, what are you waiting for, bucko? The sponge, and make it a snappy!
Well, that stuff in my pockets really weighs me down. Yeah, I think this is the manatee we rode in on. It looks okay, considering. Hey there, manatee. All right, good talk. The Ancient Voodoo Artifact Preservation Society welcomes you to La Esponja Grande. Please stay on the path. Finally, the home of La Esponja Grande. Uh-oh. Horrible. Teeth. Gnashing. Ferocious. Leviathan.
I neglected to mention the Guardian of La Esponja.
What was it? A giant squid? They've been known to hunt and swallow entire corsairs.
No.
Megalodon? Devil whale?
Worse.
What then?
Female. Giant. Manatee.
A monster must be tamed, cheap whistle.
What? Rolled up newspaper?
Taming the female is no easy task. Their fickle minds are the greatest of all riddles. Complex, confounding, beautiful.
Are we still talking about manatees?
I equipped my crew to be able to communicate with the creatures. Alas, Santino was the only one who had learned to understand their song.
Sort of put all your eggs in one basket, huh?
Oh, what an explorer he would have made.
You don't have some cockamamie plan for taking care of the Leviathan?
Nothing. I originally spent 3 months fabricating a giant manatee suitor to be piloted by a crew of 15 men, all well learned in the ways of bestial romance. But sadly, they were lost during a trial run, mashed like peas.
Yeesh. Santino wasn't raised by giant manatees, was he? How could he understand them?
Learned it on Flotsam Island, I believe, from a scientist.
The Marquis?
Even if we could get the winds to work in our favor, I'm not leaving this anchorage. I've come too far to risk losing the location of my super absorbent prize.
Sure, Santino could understand Manatee, but how did he make those strange noises to communicate with them?
With the tongue of the manatee, of course.
What's the deal with you and Manatee parts?
It's a device that I plan to market to tourists such as yourself after this adventure was complete. It allows you to produce their sounds.
So I don't have to put my mouth on anything gross?
I asked one of my crewmen to watch after it long ago.
Let me guess. Santino.
Certainly not. His skills were not to be wasted on such a simple mission. It would have been one of the others, though I'll be slivered if I can remember which one.
So one of the mutineers should know where the tongue of the manatee is?
I imagine so.
Santino.
Left,
The Marquis.
even if we could. Oh, Lert.
You, Murray.
His name is Santina.
Santino. Tell Moose to give up his info.
Never! I revel in your frustration.
I'm throwing you overboard.
Yeah? Try it, Bumble.
Zoinks! I know you know.
The skull is right. This information won't come easy.
You're useless. I'm throwing.
Yeah?
Zoinks! Brotherhood's not so.
Wait until we chew through your ropes of oppression and topple your puppet regime.
Wow, Murray, you've gone political. Okay.
Be-
Oh, look at that fish flop. I don't want anything bad to happen to this fish. I don't want anything bad to happen. All right. Tongue of the manatee. Who had it?
I'm telling you, man, I'll never talk. Santino's with me on this.
Yeah, we'll rot before you know anything.
Solidarity, brother!
Santino will snap like a twig.
Two are like 3 times stronger than one.
You'll have to kill me! And I'm already dead.
You got nothing on us, bro.
Arr!
Ha! You can't scare me with...
The fires of my rage will...
Sorry to have to go and pull you away from your iClub.
Unbelievable, Bron. I thought you and I were gonna have buckets of good times. Just...
Yeah. Can't believe I'm gonna miss out on... You can't...
watch me.
Watch him!
I need an...
I'll nip.
Tongue of the manatee. Who had it?
Never find it
Comfy?
You're a betrayer. But do you think Morgan is still into me?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. See how you still have all your limbs? That means she cared.
Good.
Arr!
You can't intimidate me.
Arr!
You can't intimidate me.
Arr!
You
Thought you were the scaredy cat of the group.
I'm deceptively principled, unlike you, Benedict Arnold.
Arr!
Stop! Ah! Please, no, Sister Agnes. Noogie's sorry.
Who had the tongue of the manatee, or you get the face again?
I don't know. It wasn't me. I can't remember, though. You've gotta believe me.
I do. But does Sister Agnes?
Please!
He doesn't know.
Oh, all right. My face cramps up when I do it anyway. I need information.
You'll never make me.
Who had the tongue of the manatee, scumbag?
I didn't have it. I can't remember who had it, but it wasn't me.
He's telling the truth.
What? I didn't even have to do anything.
Sometimes they break easy, like delicate Fabergé eggs. Look at him. He's a wreck.
Just don't hurt me.
Fine. I shouldn't do. I don't want anything bad to happen. Hey Morgan, I know you're a cutthroat pirate.
You mean,
The same.
you know, she might seem cold and brutal, but she's probably just, I don't know, lonely. You know?
Shouldn't she just stop murdering anything that gets near her cave then?
What did you do when she showed her?
Oh, ran away.
Right. You know what I think?
What's that?
And if someone could overcome that fear of death and stand in front of her long enough to teach her something.
And then we could get the sponge?
Yes. And then we could get the sponge.
And then we can cure Elaine. Perfect. Talk a male manatee into standing its ground. Thanks, Mo. You're the best.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Mo. Can I borrow your sword for a minute?
Just for a minute.
Thanks. Sorry it had to come to this. The tongue of the manatee location, or someone here will never need a milliner again.
A milliner?
Hat maker. A hatter. I'm cutting off somebody's head.
You don't have the stones.
Don't I?
You don't scare me with your sharp, shiny stick, puny mortal. I am Santino, the incontrovertible demonic skull, and I shall
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, man!
What? What happened? We can't see!
He did it! He's crazier than a sack of eels, man! What did he do? Santino's dead! Ah! I had it. Please, brah, don't hurt anyone else.
Is this true?
It's Jimbo, the I-Core funnel. That's the tongue of the manatee. I left it back in the big guy's stomach. Can't believe he's gone.
See what you get.
We'll see.
Talk to you later. Excuse me, manatee? What do you say to entering that cave? The one with all the carcass? Was that a yes? Alright, I'll learn to understand you. Hey there, Manatee. All right, good talk. Hungry fella? Oh, that ingestion. Got it! The Tongue of the Manatee, Travel Edition. Just a dab will do ya. Whoops. That was, actually, I don't want to talk about it. It's the travel edition. I'm gonna have to make... Here goes nothing. Best start with courtesy. I'm not getting anywhere until I learn to understand his language. I'm not getting anywhere until I learn to understand his language. Tongue of the Manatee, Travel Edition. All the Manatee phrases you need to know while visiting the Abyss. Not getting anywhere. not getting anywhere until I learn to understand his language. Note to self. Never go fishing over the sacred manatee. Nope. Hey, Mo. Do you know anything about the...
No. I speak a little monk.
About the...
Yeah.
Get a male manatee to stand its ground, then what?
Or how about you get him to string a coherent sentence to...
You work for the Singe. How can I get back? I need him to teach me how to understand...
The next time you set foot on Flotsam,
Catchy. You ever consider a career with...
failing there,
Lose your heart...
what you need is a way to get to Flotsam without being on Flotsam.
Hey, that sounds like a puzzle. You really are warming up to my shtick. Your metaphysical... How do I get to...
I'm saying you need to get back there, but you can't set foot on the island.
Thanks. May I have a look at...
As a trusted member of my crew, there's nothing I wouldn't share.
Really?
Go right ahead.
Whoa! Look at the mug on that nun. Papa's locket. Voodoo trinket or foil-wrapped candy with a nougat center.
Look all you want.
I never noticed this before. Wonder what it does.
Guybrush, the voodoo power contained within that locket is not to be meddled with. The last time you fiddled with it...
Voodoo lady. A little younger? Coronado... It's like they tell you on the first day of pirate kindergarten. You can't stick a square peg leg into a round hole. Or a square picture, for that matter.
What am I doing in this spindly husk? It can't be treepood. Perhaps I have leapt into the decrepit shell of a sailor suffering starvation.
Elaine was pretty... We were right on top of last... We were right... And Winslow!
On the mend, sir!
I just wanted to let you know that we're... Elaine was pretty... voodoo lady. It's me, Guybrush Threepwood. Even.
What is it?
You said there's a...
Yes, Santino learned it from him. Good luck getting to Flotsam.
said there's a...
though. Yes,
What?
it's a device.
Morgan?
Well then,
Then all I need to do is... So,
work
on?
plan B.
Oh. This is my only way to communicate with giant manatees. I need to keep it safe. This is my only way to communicate with...
Let's see here. 6,000 doubloons, the jewel crown.
Now the arrow points the opposite way. This should be interesting. Or fraught with peril. Whoa! This voodoo throne is plush, comfortable, ergonomic. No wonder she never stands up when I arrive. Ah, upsy daisy. She can't get up, but I need to talk to the Marquis de Singe. It has the picture of a fractured scientist on it. I should probably put these cards on. It shows a woman conjuring a curse. It's a picture of an incredibly handsome adventurer on his way somewhere. Hex me now. I wonder what this does. I think I need a card in each spot. Instructions. Didn't take the voodoo lady for the forgetful sort. Let's see. For sizzling voodoo action, fill slots with tarot cards. Slot 1, the one who acts. Slot 2, the action taken. Slot 3, the one who receives the action. on in. Enter my mystical lair of voodoo.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. I have traveled here to... Pardonnez-moi, I can't quite remember.
Taking a break from playing around with my...
Quoi? How do you know? How you feel?
I feel... pretty.
That is nice. I will be going now.
Wait, while you're here, I want to ask you something. I understand that you speak the language of giant manatees, and I'm not referring to your silly accent.
How do you know of this? Yes, I have a book that can teach one the language of these majestic creatures.
May I have this book?
I feel no need to give it to you. You will just tarnish it with your mumbo-jumbo voodoo nonsense. You have no respect for the sciences.
Marquis, bring me the book of the manatee language, or I'll give you an education on voodoo from the business end of a...
You make me laugh. There will be no curse, because with that I must go.
All the ingredients needed for a big, unhealthy voodoo salad. All the ingredients... The legendary paperweight of Yamala. It can hold down paper like nobody's business. Whoa, that was like massive, instantaneous liposuction. Not that I've ever done that sort of thing.
Is the worst wedgie I have ever known. Heavens to hippos, I can practically taste my underpants. No, it is impossible. She could not have done this to me. Perhaps I will bring her the silly textbook, just in case.
Whoever could it be? It's open!
I have brought you the language textbook you have requested. My motivations for this act are meaningless. Take it.
Oh, for me? Thanks, Mark. Put it there on the table. Now scram! Learn the enchanting language. Wow.
Here goes nothing. Best. Could have gone better. not my finest wooing. There it is, the legendary Esponja Grande. I've crossed seas, survived an island siege, thwarted countless enemies, 7 give or take, traveled the entrails of a manatee, and courted marine life, all for this one moment. Huh. I thought it would be bigger. It works! I feel better already. Time to take La Esponja Pequeño to Elaine.
Oh, I got it! We finally got it! We really hoodwinked old Coronado, eh? Now, I've just got to get back to her and...
Knew it!
No, Dakava, it's not like that.
You are a backstabbing sponge and woman stealer! This is the end of the line!
Really, hear me out. Look, I thought you swore you'd never serve another tyrant.
In light of recent events, I've had a philosophical breakthrough.
But what about Moose and Noogie? Where's...
Gentlemen, this is why you always have a plan B.
So what's plan B?
Very funny. Ow! Ooh, this must be petrified wood. For being homemade by a lunatic, these cages are surprisingly sturdy. It's your sword!
Thanks. It felt like I was missing a part of me. No offense.
Morgan! Can you reach the rope holding your cage?
No, I can't.
Can you reach the rope holding my cage?
It's too far away.
How do we get out of here?
No idea. This is your kind of thing, isn't it?
I'll figure something out.
Better do it fast. Dakava's getting away.
It reads, visit the sacred giant manatee mating grounds, home to La Esponja Grande, 200 fathoms. Do you know how hard you've made it to tie my shoes?
I'm sorry, but
Really? You're not just...
no, I am.
If I could just reach that rope. Morgan! Can you reach the rope holding your cage?
It's too far away.
I'll figure...
Better do it fast.
Morgan! Can you reach the rope holding my cage?
No, but I bet the blade of Dragoda can.
Come back with my sponge!
You'll never have this... Moose, bring me my prize!
Sure thing, boss. I think Santino picked it up.
What?
Oh, right.
Hey, they forgot the sponge.
Pack him isn't, and bring her about!
Yes, sir.
Then empty the cannons on him, me hearties!
Hey, Morgan, they forgot the sponge.
They're coming back. Do something, Guybrush.
First things first.
It is for me to shoot the cannon, and for you to surrender the sponge!
There's no mast like a rubber tree mast.
Quickly, bring up another cannon!
Sorry, little buddy.
He's resorted to hurling detritus, sir.
Hope you're still hungry, fella. Now that I think about it, keeping that seahorse head in my pants the entire time I was underwater probably wasn't the safest course of action.
Well played, Threepwood.
And I didn't even have to run anyone through.
Yeah, you let a manatee do your dirty work for you. Hey, look at that.
Are they holding hands?
Flippers, but yeah.
Where do you think they're headed?
I don't know. Wherever nature tells them to, I imagine.
That's nice.
Yes, it is.
Dan Connors? You have a worse haircut than I do. Eric Parsons, all dressed up and no place to go. Grossman, that guy again? Animation? I need no animation. I live! How many numbskulls does it take to make one of these anyway? Ah, Joe Pinney, the man who taught me everything I know. Everything I know about evil. The testers, sitting in a dark room with lava lamps, and they think it's heaven. Sound? I don't want to hear it. Damien, are you really a lumberjack, or do you just like the plaid shirts? Marketing? I sell myself. Jake, go talk to somebody who cares. Will it never end? Oh, the playtesters. All that pizza and no idea what kind of meat it was. Whoa, that's a filthy lie. This is my own voice. Kevin Bruner, he's been around forever. Go away, old man. Randy Tudor, I will end you. Oh, like all these people had something to do with it. Boring! Raise the burning face of hell! At last, I alone rule the interface! I have taken control, and none shall... Feeling right as rain now, Captain. As refreshed as my days as a cabana boy in Borneo. Captain? Oh dear.